Okay, I think I'm set up now. Uh, and here's the photograph I work from. And I would like to, at some point, hopefully I'll be having some, I would like to be working from some live flowers or some, bring something into the studio here. But for now, the way things are going, and they are, this is better for me. And I'm sort of not practicing, but working on, working things out in my own work. And so it's good. This is good. Just painting is a good idea, and for me right now, because I just learn something every time I paint. And I always wear gloves. I think you can see. I always wear gloves, always, because this stuff is all this paint and solvent. It's not. You just don't. And I probably should wear a mask in here too. I don't, but it wouldn't be a horrible idea. Because and I leave the window behind. You have to. It's good to have a place that has a ventilation, some kind of ventilation, where you can get some fresh air. So I'm going to start, and I've got. Let's see. So here's my brushes, and with this, I'll go start with the big. See if they can see the big brushes. These are the big ones. See, and they work pretty good for me for starting a painting. So I can keep it not, if I go in too tight, and this is me personally, if I go in too tight, it messes it up. It messes up my work, and I don't know why that is, because I love beautiful tight work, and so I had to finally let that go, that I was going to be doing that ever. I can, but it's not, maybe it doesn't look, there's so many artists that do it so beautifully, it's like, why? I can't reach that. So that's what you do, is the best you can do it's like one of my friends, she told me a long time ago, she said, she just said this, and it meant so much to me at the time, because I was trying to figure out something about my work, and she goes, Alison, just you do you. And that was, actually, no one's ever said that, I don't think. And I was pretty old to hear it, but it really, it meant a lot to me, because it helped. I obviously I haven't forgotten it, because I just went that way then. I thought, that's right, because you see all this beautiful work out there, and you'd like to, I can say, oh, that's so beautiful, I want to go there, but it's not necessarily, going to be the right thing if it's not coming from a good place that you need to be coming from. Okay, so I'm just going to start. Let me see if you can see. Yeah. So I take a big brush with lots of solvent and some color, and kind of mix it up some, because, and then that's too bright. So we're just going to come in, and there's pretty blue back there, so I don't want to get too much yellow in the background, because the flowers are yellow in the background. It doesn't hurt to have some of this yellow, but that's just for now. Start it going. But now see, these pretty leaves, flower leaves are coming in front of there, so I don't want to mess that up, because this is sort of a sienna. You can see the picture is a sienna, and some other colors in there, and they're dark, and the leaves are light, of course. So now this looks messy, but sometimes it's best if you don't try to, for me, if you don't try to clean it up too much at first, because some nice things can happen. And I've got to focus. That's orange. See about it. See that pretty? See the pretty colors? There's it looks like purple and red, and you think it's just one color, but really there's other things. There's other colors inside, or colors within colors. And it goes so. And then there's see the shadow, so that'll come. But mostly I don't want to mess these leaves up. Those you see how pretty. I don't know if the video can really see everything, but for now I've got to just paint fast because I don't want to mess it up either. So there's just the two flowers. When I'm painting, sometimes it works, but sometimes I'll get distracted. I won't focus on what I'm doing. And it's a good idea to always step back, too. I learned that from Ron Tomlinson. Many years ago, he ingrained that in the people he worked with, to step back, get back to your work. I learned it with him. Okay, so now what I would do is it is a distraction to be on the video, but what I think I need to go in. This is a little different for me because there's a couple of flowers and they've got these, they're called petals. I don't know why I call them leaves, they're petals. And they're kind of golden. So I gotta quit being distracted too much when I'm talking and see. They're really not this color, but kind of. I guess they are. Yeah, they are. They kind of are. But you got to keep it light. Now with oil, these are oils. These are oils. They look like I paint them like watercolors. I'm really a watercolor artist. I think, but but I paint in oils, and so you can. So it's nice I think to leave some light spaces and different values and then you can always come back in with oil. You can't with watercolor, but you can with oil come back in and find shadows and what you need, because that's the advantage of oils really, is just you can watercolor once it's down, that's it. And that's probably why I don't paint in watercolors, because there's an immediacy that you've got to get it right, and you've got to get it right with watercolor, and you've got to go from light to dark no matter what, pretty much. And so it's a little restricting for the way I like to go. But I found this great. Well, I'm sure it's been out for a while. But when I did find this oil paper, it really was a good crossing over for me. Even though, because I love painting in oils, but my oils, if you put this like this with oil on canvas, it doesn't hold up right. It doesn't look right. There's something, it looks too light. But on paper it's great because it lends itself to more to paper. But canvas is so much weightier and has a presence. The paper is a lighter touch. So I was glad to find this, because once I figured out I didn't have to go heavy on the paper like I thought I did, heavy on everything in oils, that it was, I knew I liked doing it this way because I understood it. I understand, it's so funny, I understand watercolor so well, so easy. I don't understand thick oils as well, and I don't even know how to explain that. Except I just kind of intuitively know what to do with watercolors, like or this kind of washy work, that I don't have that with oils. I have to figure out oils, I guess. Oils make me have to And I do better. I think everybody does. If you don't have to think about, if you're not, you don't have to think about something, you just do it. It's probably going to be better. Now, it's just probably going to be it's probably going to end up, you're going to have better work. Okay, and so, now, this is too, I shouldn't have gone in quite so yellow there, or quite even hardly at all there, because now it's time to bring in some of that background. I'm not sure, I shouldn't have done that first. Maybe that's what I was doing, but just with the wrong color. So what I gotta do, and see all these different variations of green, is focus now again. Because I don't want to make it like the picture. I mean, I want to make it like the picture, but not exactly like the picture. But I see there's a leaf there. Just get the idea that all this nice stuff, and you see the difference. I think that's probably sky. Maybe, well, there's sky there. It's dark, a whole lot darker. It goes back, and then this is kind of crazy right there. It's really dark over there. So, and it's dark. Let's look at that. So if you, for me, and this is what I found too, is you just follow some darks, and don't get too serious about them, but follow them sort of. Then you can just go and maybe not have to think too much. But so if I mess that up, it's okay, because with with oils, I can come back and find it, and it'll be fine, and it'll be pretty. It'll probably be pretty. I can just bring in some, new orange or something, and it'll be all right. And that's the difference. If I did this in watercolor, that's it. It's going to be green over the yellow, and you don't have any options really, unless you go with gouache or something like that. But see, I do this, and I see those. Actually, these leaves are closer together, which I don't know if it matters or not. It's the overall painting that matters, not its accuracy. But for this kind, so, and I like that pretty blue back there. I do, and I've got some turquoise. I just bought some turquoise. It's real pretty, and I think that might look good, because that's like I guess you call it cobalt blue, but see that? That's more than I usually do. And as far as that yellow goes, that's pretty intense, and I may have to just leave it and let that happen if it's going to mess it up to go in too much. And you can see how this is dripping, but I don't feel too threatened by the drips, because I know I can fix things. I kind of left that there, but that's okay. That's that leaf, I think. And then usually I work faster, but I'm pacing myself a little bit. I don't know if this is going to come out like I usually work, but it's all right. Usually I just go, and maybe I should just try that, and then I'm going to hang up the video so I don't mess it up. But like, it's really dark over there. I don't know if I can't see. See, like, and this is how I usually go when I start getting going. It's something like this, and then you see this leaf, and so it just makes the direction. This is messy. Very messy. Now I don't want to get too much falling into that yellow, but see that? And then this, I can come back. I don't want to do that too much, but it's okay, because it'll just, it's something that can be done. And this is, I don't have these quite right. Let me do that. But see, now I'm starting to look at it again and think about it, and it changes everything when I think about my work. So I'm gonna try not to, and not in a good way. If I don't feel good, say, and I'm sure this is universal for all artists, when you don't feel good, you have to. I have to think about what I'm doing and where I'm placing things, and I know how to place things just because I've been doing it and doing it, and you know where they go, you know what colors to use. But when you think about, you actually think about what you're doing, the work really suffers when you have to think about it for whatever reason. Like, that's the best example I can give, is when you're just not feeling very good, you've got a headache or something, and then you think, I'm going to put red there. Well, that shouldn't even be a thought. It just should happen. And for a better painting, but it does happen. I mean, you just do it because sometimes you have to. See, that's a leaf. I'm usually not this literal, I don't think, about the leaf in the sky and all that, but that's so pretty, I don't mind it. So this is a little different because I know it's because I'm doing this video, but that's all right. See, and it's pretty dark down there. Just kind of find what's going on. I don't like that. It's different because I'm thinking. Because I'm doing a video and I'm thinking, but that's okay. It's fun to do, and it'll be all right. It just won't be probably exactly as it would have been had I not been doing the video. And there's a pretty leaf there. I'm not sure I like this, so we'll see about that. But let's see what happens up there. I don't even know. And what I may do when this dries is find some leaves up there, because that's too close to the flower. That was a mistake. See it now. That was really a mistake. And then there's something that happens there, and then that goes. I don't know what that is. That real dark. But it really doesn't matter. It's just fine. But I'm gonna say maybe bring some change. Just right here. See, and I can go back in with yellow, or a whole different thing when over this. If I decide that that's what I want to do and I want to make some leaves there, that'll be good. That'll be fine because it's oils, and you can do that with oils. And that's pretty down there, I think. Let's see, this is that. I don't like that very much. I don't know what's happening there, and I'm not being very spontaneous, and that's because I'm evaluating it more than I would too also right now, and it hurts the work, but it's okay. It's because I want to do a video, but spontaneous is always works the best. So I'm not sure about this, but I think this can work. But now I've got to let it dry some because it's pretty wet, and and I like the drips. I just do. Mostly I leave them. But when it gets to be too much, you just pull them back while it's still wet. And then there's this nice dark in there, and I probably should bring that in because I see it while it's still with the other painting, the rest of the painting. See that nice sienna with blue or something. It's really dark over there. Just to change it up. It's like there's a leaf and another leaf. So that's sort of what happens. And you can always come back in and do, but I want to kind of have it all in there for now, because I'm gonna let it dry. And like this is a leaf. I better do something with that, unless I want to leave without anything on there, but I don't think I do. That looks like a blue-green leaf, sort of. But I want it to read leaf, so maybe it should be a yellow-green leaf. Because that's it. It won't, see, I'm afraid it's not going to be that much different. And what's going on there? That's really pretty wet. That's not this. This is really pretty wet. Let me see. Okay. Just so I'm going to stop. Now you can see here. I wipe it away, but I'm going to have to go back in and clean that up. And that I really didn't that's really not how these little petals are going. Which it really, it sort of matters, but it's not horrible because these are so loose, they're not literal. And I need to come back in and find some things, and then it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. I say. So that's that for now. I hope this video works.